See, one thing about with whack, they don't like me because when I say something, it be real, and I'm going to show you the proof of it. I'm never going to let nothing come out my mouth that I don't have the proof. So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the? You are now in the Black Box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, a.k.a. BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Listen.
Gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the Black Box. Black Box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets. Yeah. It's time for R&R.
Smackwood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my SPR, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Ooh-wee. Be the closest one to you to do you. Act like they never knew you. Even one that used to screw you would turn around and screw you. Y'all see the title? Bet you he wish he would have left that ticket right where he found it. Oh, my mama. Y'all better watch who you sleeping with. Don't slip. Don't be slow. But with no further ado, let's see what this fortunate turn, unfortunate husband has been up to.
Curtis Lane, a 33-year-old intercity bus driver employed by Indian Trails, lived in a rented duplex unit on Nottingham Road in Detroit's East Side, within a working-class neighborhood near Chandler Park. His job required him to be on the road 4 to 5 days per week, transporting passengers between Detroit, Lansing, Flint, Saginaw, and Chicago. His schedule often involved overnight stops in motels arranged by the company. Curtis had been married since 2011 to 32-year-old Trina Lane.
Well, I gotta be Curtis, damn.
Trina was employed as a front desk supervisor at Violetta, a boutique women's fashion retailer inside Fairlane Town Center in Dearborn, Michigan. Her position involved supervising clerks, managing the register area, and handling customer complaints. Her work hours varied and often included evenings and weekends. The couple's marriage had settled into routine. They had no children. Financial stress was an ongoing issue in their household. Their combined income was modest, but their monthly obligations were higher than they could manage. Credit card balances had accumulated, utility payments were overdue.
No finance without romance, no romance without finance, no finance, no romance.
And the couple had missed several car loan installments. Curtis regularly expressed frustration about working long hours with little visible improvement in their circumstances. Unbeknownst to Curtis, Trina was engaged in an affair that had begun earlier in the year. At her workplace, she developed a personal relationship with a 36-year-old security officer named Daryl Creighton. Creighton, divorced and employed by the mall's contracted security firm, worked rotating shifts. He lived in a rented one-bedroom apartment in Inkster. Co-workers described him as sociable but financially irresponsible, frequently borrowing money and openly complaining about his own debts. According to later evidence collected by investigators, the relationship between Trina and Creighton escalated quickly. What began as casual workplace conversation extended to text messages, then private meetings. Trina began spending 2 to 3 nights per week at Creighton's residence, explaining to Curtis that she was required to cover late closing shifts. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Their text correspondence, later extracted from Creighton's phone, revealed repeated references to starting fresh and cutting ties. On August 10, 2018, while completing a scheduled route with a stopover in Saginaw, Curtis purchased 4 Powerball tickets at a speedway station located on Dixie Highway. This was not unusual. He had maintained the habit of buying several tickets nearly every week for more than 3 years. That evening, after completing his shift and returning to his assigned motel room, Curtis checked the winning numbers. He discovered that one ticket matched 5 numbers, missing only the Powerball. The prize amount totaled $99,800. Curtis immediately phoned his wife. According to call records later reviewed by investigators, the call occurred at 9:37 p.m. Curtis informed her of the win, and Trina's reaction was demonstrably enthusiastic. She insisted that their financial difficulties were now over and urged him to return home early so they could discuss the future. Curtis shortened his route obligations and returned to Detroit the following evening. Upon his arrival, Curtis showed Trina the claim confirmation email he had received from the Michigan Lottery. Trina reacted with tears and repeated gestures of excitement. Curtis explained that his intention was to use the money to pay off debts, settle the car loan, and consider a temporary reduction in his work schedule to spend more time at home.
That ain't what she had. Different plans, I bet you that.
The next day, August 12th, the couple traveled to Lansing and visited the Michigan Lottery's claim center. At the office, Curtis was presented with two options, to take the winnings as a lump sum or to receive them in scheduled payments. According to subsequent testimony, Trina encouraged him to accept the lump sum immediately, without consulting a financial advisor.
That should have been your first red flag, but I know he didn't have a clue.
She emphasized concerns about banks and delayed payments. Curtis agreed. Within 48 hours, the prize was processed and delivered via cashier's check, which Curtis deposited. During the following days, Curtis initiated immediate steps toward stabilizing their finances. Records later obtained by investigators showed that 2 credit cards with combined balances exceeding $14,000 were paid in full. The outstanding balance on their vehicle loan was also cleared. The remainder of the funds, approximately $40,000 in cash, was withdrawn and placed in a small metal lockbox Curtis kept at home.
Don't tell me she killed him for 40 bands or less. Wow.
Curtis expressed plans to allocate part of the remaining funds as a down payment toward purchasing a modest home. He communicated these intentions to Trina and to his sister, Shalonda Lane, who lived in Detroit and maintained regular contact with him. Shalonda later reported that Curtis sounded optimistic and relieved, believing the winnings had given him the chance to reset his financial standing. By the weekend following the lottery claim, Curtis Lane had taken concrete steps toward managing the sudden windfall. Records later obtained confirmed that he cleared the outstanding balance on his vehicle loan and paid off 2 maxed-out credit cards in full. With those obligations resolved, Curtis withdrew approximately $40,000 in cash, separated it into envelopes, and stored it in a small lockbox at his duplex. To his sister Shalonda, he spoke optimistically about applying part of the money toward a down payment on a house. Curtis expressed a desire to transition away from constant travel and to create more stability in his life. To his wife, Trina Lane, these developments created a different calculation. In conversations later recovered from electronic devices, she communicated to her coworker and extramarital partner, 36-year-old mall security officer Darrell Creighton, that Curtis would not voluntarily share the winnings with her.
The security guard was knocking it down. Damn.
She described the situation as an opportunity to start over. Creighton initially hesitated but eventually agreed to participate. Their plan, based on later reconstructions by investigators, involved incapacitating Curtis, disposing of his body, and presenting a narrative that he had abandoned his wife while taking the money with him. In preparation, Trina obtained sedatives. Investigators later determined that a co-worker had assisted her in procuring a blister pack of zolpidem tablets, which were available without prescription in Canada. Trina presented the purchase under the pretext of struggling with insomnia. Digital records established that she researched dosage quantities in the weeks prior to the crime. On the night of August 26, 2018, Curtis remained home following a weekend route. He and Trina spent the evening watching television. Trina mixed crushed zolpidem into a glass of whiskey she prepared for him. By 11:30 p.m., Curtis was observed by Trina to be unconscious, dressed in pajama pants and a t-shirt. At approximately 12:15 a.m., Creighton arrived in his dark-colored Ford F-150 pickup truck, which he parked on a side street near the duplex. Inside the residence, Curtis was bound at the wrists and ankles using plastic zip ties. His body was then wrapped in a bedsheet. Based on later footage retrieved from private surveillance in the area, a figure consistent with Creighton's build was observed carrying what appeared to be a large, heavy duffel bag or bundle toward the bed of a pickup truck. The pair drove north in the direction of Genesee County. Cellular tower pings from both Trina's and Creighton's phones later confirmed their route along I-75. At approximately 3 a.m., they stopped on Stanley Road Bridge, which spans Holloway Reservoir. Curtis, still bound and unconscious from the sedatives, was carried to the guardrail. His body was pushed into the water. His personal effects, including his phone, watch, and wallet, were thrown in after him. By 5 a.m., Creighton's vehicle registered on license plate recognition systems returning southbound toward Detroit. At that time, Trina returned to the duplex, showered, and packed a suitcase. She sent a message to her landlord indicating she would be away for a bit. By mid-afternoon, she had vacated the property. 2 days later, Trina contacted Shalonda Lane by phone. During the call, she claimed Curtis had left without explanation. According to Shalonda's later statement to detectives, Trina cried and repeated that Curtis had packed a bag, taken the money, and disappeared. Trina suggested that he may have been involved with another woman. Shalonda doubted this version.
That show you how easily, simply females, humans, but fellas, females, fake tear, cry, be remorseful. She probably appeared heartbroken. Oh, mom, it probably was convincing.
She had long suspected tension in the marriage and stated she found Trina's explanation unconvincing. Over the next 2 days,
I said convincing, he said unconvincing. I guess.
She attempted to call Curtis's phone multiple times. Each attempt went directly to voicemail. On the third day of silence, August 29th, Shalonda drove to her brother's residence. She knocked on the door for nearly 20 minutes with no response. Concerned, she contacted the Detroit Police Department to request a welfare check. When officers from the Detroit Police Department responded to the welfare check request at Curtis Lane's duplex on Nottingham Road, no one answered the door. The responding officers canvassed the immediate area. A neighbor stated they had observed a U-Haul van parked in front of the property the previous day but had not spoken to anyone associated with it. Officers contacted the property manager, who arrived and unlocked the unit. Upon entering, the apartment presented an unusual state of order. Curtis's work jacket remained hanging on the entryway coat rack, and his Indian Trails Company uniform was folded inside the laundry hamper. A half-packed suitcase rested on the bed, containing shirts, socks, and personal toiletries. In the nightstand drawer, officers located Curtis's phone, powered off. His wallet and keys were not found. There were no immediate signs of forced entry, disturbance, or theft. Detectives were called, and the scene was flagged for further examination. A missing person report was initiated the same evening. Family members were contacted, including his sister, Shalonda Lane. During her interview, she stressed that Curtis would not leave voluntarily without telling someone, especially given the financial changes following his recent lottery win. She emphasized that Curtis had spoken days earlier about plans to use part of the money for a home purchase. Detectives took note that Curtis's absence, combined with his uncharacteristic silence, indicated potential foul play. The following morning, investigators established contact with the Michigan Lottery Commission. Records confirmed that Curtis had claimed winnings of $99,800 on August 12, 2018. The money had been issued via cashier's check in his name. Follow-up with financial institutions revealed the check was deposited and the account closed shortly after. Transactions showed that 2 credit cards and a vehicle loan had been paid off. The remainder had been withdrawn in cash from a credit union branch in Warren. Surveillance video obtained from the branch showed Curtis accompanied by his wife, Trina Lane, completing the withdrawal together. Both appeared calm and smiling. Detectives attempted to reach Trina Lane through her known phone numbers. All calls went unanswered, and the phone was later determined to be powered off. Officers conducted a welfare check at her listed residence. Entry revealed the property had been vacated, with no forwarding information. Neighbors reported observing her carrying suitcases several days earlier. Parallel to these findings, a separate report reached investigators from the assistant manager of Violetta, the boutique store at Fairlane Town Center where Trina had been employed. The assistant manager reported that over $7,000 in cash was missing from the store safe on the same day Trina had left work unexpectedly. Security footage reviewed from the mall showed Trina entering the store after business hours, then departing with a large tote bag. Interviews with store employees described her as unusually close with a mall security officer named Daryl Creighton. Co-workers confirmed that Creighton had not reported for duty in 4 consecutive days. Based on these combined developments, investigators listed both Trina Lane and Daryl Creighton as persons of interest. A BOLO, be on the lookout, alert was circulated for Creighton's Ford.
Muffs. They leaving breadcrumbs, especially when they're not criminals. Not saying that criminals are necessarily any better, but people that just live regular lives and they skip from doing petty crimes to the most serious crime known, man, they typically make mistakes. Even when they think their sharpness in other areas is going to cause them to be calculated and careful enough, they usually do a boo-boo.
F-150 pickup truck. Detectives coordinated with the Michigan State Police to track vehicle plate recognition data and toll crossings. By the end of that week, Genesee County authorities received a call from 2 fishermen at Holloway Reservoir. They reported observing a body floating near the eastern shoreline. Sheriff's deputies responded and secured the scene. The medical examiner conducted an initial review before transporting the remains. The victim was identified through dental records as Curtis Lane. The autopsy report documented contusions around both wrists and ankles consistent with restraint. Toxicology testing detected zolpidem in his system at sedative levels. The cause of death was determined to be drowning, but the presence of restraints and sedatives indicated the victim was incapacitated prior to entering the water.
Drowning being one of the most horrific ways you could imagine dying. Maybe her being sedated made it not that bad. Bless her heart, bless his heart, rest in peace. On my mama, fuck her.
Curtis was dressed in sleepwear and socks at the time of recovery, aligning with the description provided by his sister of what he typically wore to bed. Following the recovery of Curtis Lane's body, a joint task force was assembled between the Detroit Police Homicide Division and the Genesee County Sheriff's Office. The autopsy conducted by the Genesee County Medical Examiner established that Curtis had died by drowning, but toxicology confirmed the presence of zolpidem in his bloodstream at levels sufficient to induce heavy sedation. The contusions located on his wrists and ankles were consistent with restraints, and the absence of defensive wounds indicated that he had been incapacitated at the time of entry into the water. The death was officially ruled a homicide. While investigators worked to establish the timeline, automated license plate recognition provided a critical lead. On August 28, 2018, 2 days after Curtis was last seen, data registered Daryl Creighton's Ford F-150 crossing southbound on I-75 into Ohio. The truck did not return across Michigan toll monitoring systems. With both Trina Lane and Creighton listed as persons of interest and no confirmed sightings since their disappearance, U.S. Marshals were contacted to assist. On September 1, 2018, U.S. Marshals located both Trina and Creighton at a budget motel on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio. The pair had rented the room under an alias. Inside, investigators recovered just under $11,000 in cash, a duffel bag containing Trina's employment records, and the original Michigan lottery certificate confirming Curtis's 99.
She was a nothing-ass, chump-change, broke, petty-ass bitch.
$1,800 prize. Both suspects were arrested without resistance. They were held locally and extradited to Michigan within 72 hours. Initial interrogations were conducted separately. Trina maintained that Curtis had abandoned her, repeating the same narrative she had previously provided to family members, that he had taken the money, packed a bag, and disappeared. She denied knowledge of his whereabouts and claimed she feared he had met another woman. When investigators informed her that Curtis's body had been recovered and autopsy results pointed to homicide, her account shifted. She alleged that Creighton had been the sole planner and that she had been pressured into participating. Creighton, by contrast, invoked his right to remain silent during the first session. In subsequent questioning, he admitted involvement but attributed primary responsibility to Trina. He alleged that she had drugged Curtis and manipulated him into assisting with the body disposal under the impression that they were only going to scare Curtis. The physical and digital evidence contradicted both accounts. Forensic analysis of Trina's old mobile phone, which had been discarded but later recovered, revealed text messages exchanged with Creighton in the days leading to the homicide. In these messages, Trina arranged the timeline, confirmed that she had access to sedatives, and instructed Creighton to park 2 blocks over on the night Curtis was incapacitated.
How much time do you think they're going to give her? Life or less? I think it's going to be less than life. But she deserved life or death. Oh, my mama.
At the disposal site near Holloway Reservoir, investigators recovered a single work glove bearing DNA that matched Creighton. Additionally, forensic testing confirmed Trina's fingerprints on the bottle that had contained the zolpidem tablets. Bank records, surveillance images, and witness statements collectively supported the conclusion that both parties had conspired in advance and executed the plan together. On September 20, 2018, a Wayne County grand jury indicted both Trina Lane and Daryl Creighton on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and unlawful disposal of a body. Pretrial hearings were conducted over the following months. Evidence admitted included digital communications, forensic findings, and financial records. At trial, prosecutors presented the case that Trina had orchestrated the murder motivated by financial gain. They argued that she intended to claim exclusive control of the lottery winnings by eliminating her husband. Trina's defense attorneys argued coercion, stating she had been influenced by Creighton and lacked the capacity to resist his direction. Trina testified, becoming emotional and claiming she acted out of fear. Creighton's defense adopted a strategy of minimizing his role. His attorneys claimed he believed the plan involved intimidating Curtis rather than killing him. They portrayed him as drawn into a situation he did not fully understand. The jury was unconvinced by either defense. Deliberations lasted 5 hours before returning unanimous guilty verdicts on all counts. Trina Lane received a sentence of life imprisonment without parole. Daryl Creighton
They gave her life without. That's what she get.
Was sentenced to 40 years with eligibility for parole after 30. Curtis Lane's funeral was held at Elmwood Cemetery in Detroit. Family members and co-workers attended. His sister, Shalonda Lane, gave a brief statement at the service, holding a photocopy of the Michigan Lottery confirmation letter.
She looked hurt, broken. Bless your heart, baby. My condolences.
And remarking that her brother had finally believed he was on the verge.
And she looked pissed because that bitch is in that room. She wish she could get her hands on that bitch. Yeah, she looked upset.
Of improving his life, only for the money to become the motive for his death. Of the original $99,800 prize, records confirmed approximately $45,000 had been used to pay debts and purchases. The remainder, withdrawn in cash, was never fully recovered. Investigators documented the missing funds as unrecoverable assets.
I can't think without a whole zone. It's almost gone, but don't think about the ozone. I ain't ate all day, but I'm so blown. Tell the DJ to throw on a slow song. My life is what the po-po press for. South Central is so stressful. In the city of the bombest herbs. The only way to loc know the calmest nerves. Females say I'm a conceited nothing, no good, only call when in need of something. It's a thin line between a love and a lust. She'll never have young cuz in the cuffs. Gotta be cool with them first advances. Working in these uncertain circumstances. Fake ballin' had you broke with a buzz. Pump your brakes, come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. and we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. I get high as the heights that I'm reaching to. Put a few in the air for Big Meech and Blue. Grind hard through the middle of the night. Shit, I might see a little of the light. I never sleep, barely get some rest. I swallow my blood before I hit some stress. Roscoe's on the east, a hit to west for jacks. Pockets fat, I just hit for racks. Yeah, that's where I can get some clothes at too. It's already one and it closed at 2. Fast lane, ballin' out, racing the range. Gangbanger, all about chasing the change. I'm icy, judge and the jury ain't trying to see the judge and the jury. Eastie represent the E&S, but I still Baymac like BMF. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all.
Come smoke one with us. Listen, come smoke. Hey, look. Get money every day like it's no thing. Buy a zone of that cushion, smoke the whole thing. Rolled up deuces, carry 4-5. Off a half a gram of kush, but we so high. South Central where they murder with no alibi. Do walk-ups and don't respect drive-bys. We some young killers, still some fly guys. Neighborhood near Puzzle and SPI. We rich roller coaster cribbing, that's our lifestyle. And that explains why my neck and wrist iced out. Smoke big blunts, ride luxury. A nigga beat his bitch up cause she was fucking me. And then I beat the pussy up and told her it'll be alright, just tell me every time he mention me. Yeah, and that's just how it's meant to be. It's an in-hood thing, Slauson after century.
And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us.
Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Snakewood and that Puzzle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
It was SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
Spider Low, nigga. Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the? Spider Low. Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nightblood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nightblood on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, cred.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my
continue.
competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the black box with Spider Loke, Most Eastie, aka VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!
Cold way to go. Dirty asshole. But on your screen, that's another video. YouTube said that's the way you should go. So click it and continue to kick it right here in the black box. Jeter.